Hey guys, how's it going? Matt with another JaYoe conversation. I'm joined again by Lee Barrett.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Beautiful morning.
Where are we right now?
We are at the train station in Xi'an North.
And we are about to go into the first class. We're going to take you on a tour of the first class cabin of the high-speed train. Yeah.
8C, that's business class that way, mate. Go down this way.
Hello. Seat 9A. I'm at 9A.
D and 8C.
I'm there. This is very, very common, actually. Not first class. How much was the first class ticket? About 100 RMB?
Something like that.
We're going to be on this train for about a half hour. And so I thought I'd take you along with me. Maybe we could sit down, talk with Lee a little bit about transportation. This is the driver, actually. He's in there. He's operating the train. This is the totally in the front. And this is the business class. Business class on the trains is the best class. I've sit in business class. You actually get a little tray here. You get power. Very comfortable. The seat reclines all the way down. You can end up in the laying down position. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, transportation in China. We're on a train. What speed do you think we're going to get up to?
Oh, it's quite a short journey, so probably a couple 200, 250 kilometers an hour, maybe a little bit more.
Maybe a little bit more. Certainly we won't feel it because this railway is super smooth, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I noticed here, that there's two things that stand out for transportation here, especially trains, is the first is efficiency, and the second is value.
Oh, yeah.
Value-wise, it's less than a quarter of what you pay in the UK for the same length of journey, and the standard of that travel will be way lower. We don't have trains like this in the UK, high-speed trains like this at this level. No way. You know? That's really down to the infrastructure spending.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. This is
Sorry.
Noella.
Hi.
So the big issue in the UK, the trains were privatised some years ago, so the lines have to make money. So they don't want to build lines and that are not money making, whereas here they will build things as a service to the people. It's not about making a profit out of it. Actually, a lot of the lines are profitable in China, but they subsidise the unprofitable lines. Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, and
Well, all this talk of lines, you need to be in America. They don't have any of those lines or anything. I mean, I grew up in Detroit, so if you didn't have a car, you were kind of an asshole. I mean, you know, you didn't have a lot of choices. You still don't have a lot of choices. And I don't know why. It's got to be the bureaucracy that's kind of deadened the progress of public transportation. And we have bus systems in America. As a matter of fact, my dad was a bus mechanic every day, every night. Every day he ran the plumbing company, and every night he worked 2 jobs my entire life to raise me in the hopefully good way that has resulted. But the idea of trains in America has never caught on, and it wasn't until I came to, wow, look at that city, it's being built like from the ground up. That's pretty cool. It wasn't until I came to China that I realized how easy and efficient and just like it's a no-brainer to have like a well-running public transit system like this.
Yeah, well, in the last 10 years here, they've built a rail system that pretty much connects all the major cities in China, even running up, you know, far into the north into Xinjiang. And that line will never make money, but it's there to allow the people to access those cities. And I think, I don't necessarily agree with you about that it's the bureaucracy. I think it comes down to that. They just don't have the money to invest, or they don't see the benefit of investing that money in infrastructure. Whereas here, they have a saying, if you want to be successful, build the roads first.
Right.
And we don't seem to have that mentality. In the UK, they want a quick return on everything. Oh, it needs to make money as soon as we've finished it. Whereas here, they look at putting this massive investment in rail, and they will think about getting the return in 10 years time, 15 years time, when so much more business and commerce can be done because you have that infrastructure in place.
Well, in a lot of ways, the Belt and Road Initiative is like the ultimate personification of lay down the roads and the build it. What's that? Did you watch that movie Field of Dreams?
No.
It was a Kevin Costner movie, and he had this sense that he had to build this baseball stadium in his corn farm. He was a farmer, and so everybody thought he was crazy. Why are you going to build this corn? You have a very good corn farm. Why would you put this thing? And he kept saying, there was a voice that kept saying from the ether. It was like some supernatural thing. The voice would say, "Build it, and they will come. If you build it, he will come. They will come." You know, like so.
And that's pretty much. I mean, you know, you have just diverting off the transport bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people going, oh, look at all these ghost cities they build in China. But actually, you go back to those cities 5 years after they're built, and they're teeming, heaving with people because you've got this massive urbanization.
Would you like to go to one of those cities today? The one from like 5 or 10 years ago, the story, and let's take a look at it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that'd be cool because I bet you it's packed now, thriving with people. But that's what infrastructure does.
Yeah.
You know, they'll build these cities, they'll build the city 2 years later, they'll put high-speed rail there and metro lines. All of a sudden, boom.
Lee, wait. But how are we going to afford all the bombs?
How are we going to afford all the
bombs?
The what?
The bombs, you know, the wars. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah, well.
I mean, listen, roads or bombs. You got to choose. And, you know, I'm American, man. We like our bombs.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, the sort of governments in the UK, years and years, the amount of money that has been wasted because they don't have the right people in government to manage those projects. They don't have they don't have the right people managing those projects. So here they'll look at infrastructure, and there'll be a huge amount of people within the government who have engineering experience and infrastructure experience. So they do it efficiently, they do it cost effectively, and that's something that they really struggle with in the UK.
The bomb comment actually comes from the fact that if you guys aren't American, I mean, Americans spend ungodly amounts of money. Colossal, like 10 of its neighbor countries in that list of countries that spend on defense. Okay. Sorry, she told me I had to be a little quieter. But we spend tons and tons of money on defense instead of directing it towards projects that might help really bring like infrastructure and stuff. And in China, for all of those people out there that think China is the big baddie with regards to military spending, I mean, the amount of money they spend on their military is insignificant. And all of that money that they've saved, they've invested in places like this, you know.
Well, it's invested in road and rail infrastructure. We went out in
See that? That's why we don't have COVID in China. Big problems with COVID.
Absolutely. We were out in Chongqing a few months ago, and we were into some fairly rural areas, and I was gobsmacked at the extent and the quality of the highways they built to those villages. But what happens then is you get people who build businesses in those little villages, and they're able to distribute their products. We've recently been to this little village in the middle of nowhere, and they're selling their vegetables online on live streaming and distributing them all over China simply because they have that infrastructure network to get that product distributed.
Yeah.
And that shows you why building the infrastructure is so important, because it enables the commerce.
Yeah.
You know,
it's an intricate puzzle, and infrastructure is an important part of it. You know,
at the end of the day as well, it just makes our lives so much better. Like, for the end user who's trying to just get around and go to my hometown, or you know, not me, but the Chinese go to your hometown, or you know, go and see some friends, it makes it so much more accessible and it's so much cheaper. And even the people who aren't on a great whack of money can get around to their hometowns, you know, once or twice a year.
Yeah, that's
affordable.
that's because it's not run for profit. It's run to help the people.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
everything in the UK is run for profit because it's all been privatised.
Yeah.
You know, a company doesn't want to open up a rail line if they're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
And then the ones that they are making money on, they just want to keep pushing the prices higher and higher. So actually, train travel in the UK has become kind of more of a thing for wealthier people, because normal working people can't afford to use trains now in the UK, you know, which is it's mad.
Again, trains? What are those things? Like, as an American, I mean, train travel is... In America, we have like Amtrak, and those trains are old, the rails are rickety. What are we traveling? We are traveling at 306 kilometers an hour at this very moment. And do we even
Never
feel
know
it?
that, would you?
That's mad.
You would
That
never
is
know
With
that.
our
crazy.
coffee sat on the side here
Yeah,
without
yeah,
even, without even, you know.
Oh, by the way, the psycho that was sitting next to Lee Barrett is his son, Ollie Barrett. So, did you see him making faces and stuff while you were talking? Yeah, very entertaining father-son duo here. But yeah, I think that you know, you don't. I think that unless you've been to like Japan has a very, very good travel industry.
Yeah,
Very good
Germany
travel.
and France are not
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think China now has way more than all of those countries put together. You know, they've made that as like a mainstay of their policy to connect all the major cities by high speed rail, and they're now working on even the sort of smaller cities.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really not difficult to get from A to B at all in China on the trains. Any major city to another major city is pretty easy.
I feel like, and this might be a bit naive, but I feel like there's a lot of the hatred to China is based in jealousy.
Oh yeah.
You know, like China's got all of this stuff and a very robust transit system. They've got no COVID. They've got a growing GDP. They've got all of these things. So there's we were talking about this earlier, and this is kind of off topic, but there's this kind of like mentality of instead of compete, we're just gonna blame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of like the IP theft in China, there's you know, there's definitely some of that has happened, and there's been some stealing of ideas. Just work harder and make better ideas so that those ideas that might have been and it's not really stealing, it's contractually taken, make those obsolete, because you know what, that was generation number 1, and we've designed generation number 10, so you can take our generation number 1, we don't care. But now it's like they have all of these things and they are doing all these good things, and damn it, you know. And
I mean, speaking of jealousy, I have my own theory on that, in that it's kind of like the Western governments want to keep what's really happening in China away from their population seeing it, because at some point those populations are going to, well, we've been paying all this tax for all these years.
Yeah.
Where's all the money gone?
Yeah.
Why do we have such shitty infrastructure compared to China, when relatively they, you know, in the timeline, they've only been a rich nation for a very short amount of time, whereas the UK and America have been rich nations for much, much longer, but yet their infrastructure sucks compared to China. So where's all the money gone? Maybe like you were saying earlier, it's all gone on weapons and wars.
yeah.
You know?
Like I see, like there's a lot of people that say that I hate America, or like, you know, and it's totally not that. I am sad, I am frustrated, because America could do all of these things. Could have all of the great things that China has, but they don't, because there's all this bullshit and red tape, and they can't get their shit, and they're blaming. There's all these blaming things. I mean, there are definitely some people in China that are blaming and lobbing threats at America and things like this. But if you looked at the percentage, it's a lot less than the amount of people in America. I mean, if you walk up to normal people here and say, what do you think of America? They say, we like it, it's from America, yeah. But you walk up to the average American and say, what do you think of China? The average one, I mean, on a more percentage basis, they'd be like, China, man. China's the root of all evil, you know what I mean?
Because that's what they've been programmed to believe by their governments, you know, and the media. And, you know, I think that whoever wins this election when the results
Oh
out,
yeah,
I
we're
really-
in an election right now.
I really don't think China care that much, because
Yeah.
China will just get on with China and doing what they do. They don't really care that much about what's happening outside. They concentrate on building for them.
Well, China has a strategy for each one. China has a strategy
Yeah.
for Biden. China has a strategy for Trump. China has a strategy for. They're well prepared for any scenario. I mean, it's
yeah.
one of the reasons why they've been able to kind of like do what they've done in the last few decades. So, anyways, we're gonna wrap this one up. I just thought it was an interesting topic of conversation, seeing as though we're on a train headed to Huashan. We're gonna do some mountain climbing today. It's gonna be cool. You guys excited?
It is going to be cool.
very excited.
Bearing in mind I'm the oldest one in the team, so I might need a bit of help. But
I might
I'm
have
gonna-
to put him
I'm
on my
gonna
back.
give it a go, yeah.
So, sign off.
As always, take care.
Enjoy the video, guys, and please make sure you do drop a like and comment down below what your thoughts are on it as well. And if you do want to check out the Barrett channel, you can also click the link down below, and we'll see you in the next one.
Of course, and you know, JaYoe and all that jazz. So, yeah, we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.